This is going to be a two-parter video. Right now, you're going to get whatever you saw in the intro. I wanted to share this design process, so here we are. Subscribe for the next video where we're actually going to be making the factory itself. This is what I've done so far, and everything back there on the walls is pretty basic. However, this circular structure is something that I wanted to share with you guys. So I took a slice out of this pizza, and now we are going to make it again. I didn't want this to be too difficult for myself or anyone else, to be honest. So I'm not going to be using mods for this. I am doing this 10 across, which is basically the limit of the vanilla game. The first thing you need is this foundation. Let me actually show you how I got it. So this is the base structure, obviously, and this central point is where I wanted this entire circle to be based around. So I got rid of everything around it, just so I could see everything clearly, placed another foundation underneath it, and delete the one on top. Now make your way over here on this side and basically zoom all 10 foundations all across. This is going to be your center line of the circle. Then remove this one foundation and place the hologram of the next one over here. However, I need you to hold control. Yes, it's weird. Control is the snap mode, but control is also what lets you freeform the foundation. Now rotate it and zoom it all the way across once more. Then delete this one block that's over here. Now we're going to repeat the process, but this time instead of rotating it once, we're going to rotate it once more after that. And there we go. Now this is an incredibly tedious process where you basically have to continue doing this over and over again. There is going to be a lot of clipping involved, especially in this area, so it's best that you don't actually look at it. It helps a lot if you use a material for your foundations that basically hides all the clipping. Something really bright like the one that I'm using works as well, or you can also use just pure asphalt or concrete. So I got rid of basically all the foundations over here. Next, I'm going to just close this place up, and we are going to just create one tiny little bit over there. I might get rid of that as well, don't know. The foundations that are at the edges of the circle are not actually that overlapped. So you can just hover around and start doing this. And what this will let you do is, this will let you create a boundary for your circle. And it's always nice to do that, in my opinion, at least. Obviously, you do you and you design your things how you want to design them. I'm not going to say what's good and what's bad. Now, initially, I did flirt with the idea of making it like this. It looks good, right? But ultimately, I ended up deciding against it. The idea was to do something like this. Wait a second, that can still be the idea. I'm going to do that actually. Okay, but how did we actually do this? Well, we're basically using double ramps over here. And double ramps actually look really nice when you tile them like this. You can then do a bunch of different things over here, including just this stuff. However, if you're not a fan of this right angle over here, you can also get rid of that. You can use an inverted 4-meter ramp over here. Oops, I kind of used the wrong material over here. Building in Satisfactory is incredibly weird sometimes. For example, it doesn't let you make this. However, if you just move your mouse a little bit down, yeah, you can do it without any problems. You think that's annoying? One second, let me show you something even more annoying. Look at how this inverted ramp works. It's misaligned. This game is literally unplayable. Oh my god. What? Someone please fix this. For some reason, without that second ramp underneath, it kind of looks off. Like it's thin over here and then it's thick again over here. And I like my factories to basically look even. Great. Now let me do that over here to all of these as well. Alright, so now we are done with this bit. Now the only thing that's left is the inverted ramp at the bottom. So let's place those as well. Now, if you want to be incredibly weird about this design, you can also just place another one at the bottom over here and have this one go down. Honestly, I might use this design in the future, but not for this factory right now. Oh man, do not do it like this. Do not leave this one for last, because apparently we can't even place it then. By the way, if for some reason you just cannot get this to work, then you should just move this down one more. This is actually the problem that I'm facing right now. Just move this over here, and then you should be able to place that. So basically we need to move these inverted ramps one down, which probably should have already been the case. But you know, we like changing designs, so we have to do everything all over again. How many times do we have to do it? Every single time I change it. 21 times. Holy moly. Okay. Okay, if I clip this in, will it look bad? Yes, it does. Oh god, it flickers. Oh, for God's sake. I should have just stuck with the other design where this bottom half goes downward. That would have been so much easier to make. But you know, I'm special. I figured out a way to do it without, you know, breaking my brain. Alright, and then the inverted ramp at the bottom. Finally. I really hope no one is following a step-by-step of this, otherwise they're going to lose their mind. Now what? Alright, so I'm going to take this up to the level of this edge over here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take these back inward. Now bear in mind, this place needs to hold a particle accelerator, quantum encoder, and a bunch of other stuff as well. But I'm not really worried about that. I do have a little light control panel over here as well, because I do want some lights in here. And obviously we need to control them. Okay, so let's place a ramp over here, and I believe that ramp should let us do this, right? Yeah. Okay, let me place a few ramps so I can see what it looks like. Oh, I like this. I like where this is going. Yeah, so let's finish placing these. Now we do need to close this up at the top as well. That one edge is creating a problem. Oh, it's creating a problem because this next one over here isn't 5 degrees inside this one. Okay, so this is perfectly aligned, and then 5 degrees off over here. However, can I just zoom you over there? Because I don't want to place all of these foundations anywhere except just this edge. And now we can do this. Okay, let's close this back up. Actually, we can just delete this as well. Oh, we don't have to delete it. We can just link it over there so it looks like a semicircle. Perfect. And yeah, this looks good now. We should probably do the same thing over there. Or maybe it is already fine. Oh, we started from over there, so that's fine. Let's just take a look at it from up top. And it's looking glorious. Now what's next? Now I did flirt with a few different designs, and I might settle on either one of these. Yeah, sadly we can't change the color of the metal pillars, so we would have to use concrete, and then let's see if we can make it look good. Okay, if I'm being honest, yeah, this looks a lot better already. Before we move on to the next part of the video, I have a request. It seems like most of my viewers are not subscribed to the channel. So if you're still watching, hit that subscribe button. It helps a lot. Okay, one second. Let me finish up this roof, and then we're gonna come back to how we did this. Because making this on each one of these is going to be a massive pain, and we're not going to do that. We are trying to make things easy for ourselves. Oh, this is a lot easier if you're just on the inside and you stand still. Okay, so let's say 2 foundations for now. And yeah, go away, sir. I will deal with you some other day. For now, just let me build this. Yeah, 1 foundation would have been enough as well, but 2 seems to do the trick. And 2 foundations will also give us more room to play with as well, because we might want to clip stuff inside of these. Is this perfectly aligned? I need to confirm this. Yes, it is. Okay, that means we can connect them together. Yeah, so from this point onward, it's going to be just straight stuff. What's going on over here? Oh, it's the base. It's the base that's the problem. I almost panicked. Oh god. I thought I messed everything up. That's much better. Yeah, so let's just close this up. Yeah, and just take this up as well. Place this on top. For really like stuff that's off on the corner, it's fine if you clip things into each other to just close it up. All right, there we go. For stuff like this, you basically have these corner pieces which you can use. And then you need to place 1 more corner piece on all of these foundations. Okay, and then we basically need a down corner ramp. The down corner ramp looks like this, by the way. Stuff is hidden over here, so let me make this up here once more so you can actually see what it looks like. So you need 1 down corner ramp and 3 up corner ramps to make this triangle piece over here. Okay, now that we have that boundary on the outside, we can get rid of this. Lovely. Now let's come back over here and work on these things. I want this one. This one looks fine. I was experimenting with a bunch of other designs, but I didn't really like them. And at the end of the day, this is basically all about what I like. So this is what I like. So first of all, let's just get rid of all of these over here. I know you might think that we're getting rid of a lot of the things that we make, but that is basically this game. Because we would not have been able to create this surface up here if we hadn't made these. This is a weird bug. Apparently this one building is just unselectable. Let me save and reload the game. Okay, good. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Kinda fixes all the problems in life. Is that all of them, or do I need to delete more? Oh god. Okay, let's get our handy blueprint designer over here. Okay, so basically we need to get rid of the bottom one. Let's come over here so we can see that as well while we're making the blueprint. So let's get rid of each of the alternating ones, and that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, great. All right, so there's going to be the concrete pillar in the bottom over here. And let's just add one on each. There we go. This top one is going to socket into this bit. And then we're going to have this braided cable cluster, which is going to start from the top one's corner over here. And then we're going to just take it all the way to the bottom over here. Okay, let's do the same thing to the other ones. Anything else that I want to change in this while we can? But what if it's some other color? Like copper. But we wouldn't be able to see the copper here anyway, right? Oh, we would be able to see it at different times. I like that. What if it's Caterium? Okay, I think Caterium is a lot better. Yeah, let's make this Caterium. Boy, I wish I could change the color of these cables, man. Okay, and let's save this. We are going to call this pillar thingy, because we're pretty much only going to use this blueprint for this one section, and then we can get rid of it. And let's place this right here. Yeah, so instead of making this design over and over by hand, make it once, then replicate it in a blueprint designer so that you can literally just copy paste it everywhere instead of wasting hours of your time. You know, that way you will save on so much time that you can spend wasting on other projects in this game. Wait a second, did I just run out of steel beams? Excuse me, how is that even possible? How much steel is being used for these cables? That's fine, we can get our resources back from the blueprint designer as well. And if I just look at it for a little bit more, do I want to change something about it? No, I don't think so. What else can we do over here? Oh, this place is going to need drone ports. Maybe we could place the drone ports on top. Oh god, and if I close this up, this place is going to get so dark. Actually, no, we're planning on lights. We're planning on ceiling lights. So what we do is we add a 1 meter over here, but then we take it down just a little bit. And that way, the bottom part is also going to be inside of these big foundations on the side. That's why it's important to use these big foundations over here instead of thin ones. All right, I believe that should be it, right? Yeah, you're comfortably clipping into that so that you're fine. I think we have enough steel to finish this up. So let's do that. That's 1, 2, and then just one more. Lovely. Okay. Now this final bit over here, in my opinion, needs some assistance. And by assistance, I mean it just needs to be hidden away so that no one can see it. Okay, I might regret doing this, but it's worth trying anyway. Oh, what do you mean we can't do more than 40? So does that mean I need to use this over here? Okay, connect that over there and connect this one right here. All right. Basically, what that lets us do is make these pillars in an angled format. There we go. Lovely. Oh, man. Yeah, as much as I like the concept over here, I'm going to use this in a future build, but not like this. So let's get rid of this. We are going to do something about the insides over here as well. Man, this place looks nice. Okay. Okay, this place definitely looks nice. I like it. Okay, we're going to need some lights on the inside, and I wanted to play with billboards, but I also don't. I've never actually used the ceiling lights, first of all. So maybe we use those over here. Excuse me? That looks bad. That is definitely not what I had in mind. What if we have wall-mounted ceiling lights? say over here. Okay, these are much better. And what does this look like from the outside? Oh, no, 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 no. Turn this down, sir. That was at 10%. Yeah, okay, now I know why no one uses ceiling lights in this game. Sorry, I tried, I guess. Okay, what are my other options for lights? I could use billboards, but the light from those isn't really that good. Like, this light is amazing for decorative purposes, but it is definitely not useful for actually lighting things up. However, I kind of like the decorative purposes right now. Oh, it's creating all sorts of artifacts everywhere because of just how this light works. Because of how the global illumination works. No, we might have to do this without lighting, people. Or maybe with just a lot more lighting. We might not keep this. I just need to see what it looks like from the outside and the inside. If it's too overwhelming, we'll just reduce the illumination. Maybe. It is too overwhelming. But it's also a lot better than these top ones over here. Maybe we should get rid of the top ones. What if we have like a bunch of machines over here? I think I was wrong about ceiling light. 1 second. I've placed a bunch of machines over here. No, never mind. I was not wrong about them. They still look bad. We're gonna need one particle accelerator over here as well. Also, when all the machines are working, and we're gonna have a lot of MK6 belts over here as well, and they're going to be shiny as hell, I think stuff will look better. But because of these, everything else is becoming very dark. So what if I just delete them all? You know what? Never mind. We're going to do the lighting after we're done with the factory itself, because right now we don't know if we're going to need another floor somewhere. And I might need to add another floor as well. So let's just lock this place up. You know what? We have natural lighting. Why are we not using it? Oh, we're not using it because lighting does not work the way I think it does in this game. Global illumination makes everything so much darker. Like, let me turn off global illumination for a second. Yeah, so this is the factory without global illumination. And as you can see, well, we can basically look everywhere without any problems. But as soon as we turn on global illumination, stuff gets pretty dark. It gets a lot prettier, but it also gets pretty dark. You know what? We will worry about it when we get to it. For now, let's just place glass foundations up here. You know what we really need? We need a glass foundation without this beam in the middle. It's like the developers just sat there and thought about, what could be the most annoying thing we could add to this glass foundation over here so that people don't use it for a roof all the time? Yes, I know. Let's add an extra beam in the middle. Okay, you know what? I'm not happy with how empty this bottom part looks, so I am going to go with a 2-floor design, which basically means that I need to add this blueprint over here. Just like that. I really hope this looks good, because if it doesn't, then we might need to change a lot of things. Okay, so if I place this foundation at the base right now, what can I do with it? You know what? I might not do this. Yeah, I might not use this style. Or maybe just at the front, so the sides would just be plain foundations. Let me try that. Yes, it's going to be vertical, and you, sir, are going to go all the way down there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. I want to get rid of these middle 3 as well. That's 1, 2, and 3. And instead of these, we are just going to use the same vertical ones. And what if we just close this down as well? Okay, I'm just experimenting with some different styles, and yeah, for some reason this one just isn't working with my brain. Like, it is a pretty style, I just don't like it. Yeah, so let me just remove this bottom bit, and here is what I'm going to do. We are going to create an inverted ramp over here on these ones. Yep. And then we're gonna just take this all the way down to as far as we can. Just confirming if this is actually what I want it to look like. And yes, it is. Okay, now for the annoying bit, we need to do the same thing over here as well. I keep trying to find an easy way to snap it over here to this bit, but apparently this is basically the easiest and the only way that I can do this. So that's kind of sad. Okay, I think it's easier if you place these in bulk first, and then the zooping stuff is a lot easier to do once everything snaps easily. I think that's sufficient. The thing is, now that I've placed the converters over here, I'm realizing that I might need a second floor for some of these things, because I need to fit some foundries over here, a quantum encoder as well, which is by itself a huge thing, and a particle accelerator. So this is pretty much everything that we need in this factory, but we also need 6 foundries on top of all of this. Stuff from the foundries needs to go into this quantum encoder as well as these converters. And also, I think I'm going to close this down. And in the future, we are definitely going to use this place for something as well. But for now, it can just stay here and it can stay empty. Oh, I like that. Wait, I might finally be able to use my lighting panels that I've been wanting to use all this time. 1 second. So the color needs to be white, strength is 3, this is matte, layout needs to be this one, but then we have to remove the text. I've been wanting to use these this entire video. Okay, it looks good, but only if you look at it directly. If you're up here, it just disappears. I mean, I'm gonna keep it. Is there a way for me to be able to see that? Like if I close it like this. Does it make sense? Now, my only problem with this is that this bottom part looks kind of, well, empty, I guess. So what can we do with it? I mean, we could just place this over here. How would we go about creating some slopes over here? But what are our options? Like, why didn't I think of this before? Next time. That's a trick for next time. Since this one has like a vertical cutout, I don't want the bottom one to have a vertical cutout as well. So we're going to go with a horizontal cutout instead. Okay, let's just do a couple more. Wait, if I do it from the inside, it's going to be so much easier. There we go. Now what I'm looking for is literally just an indentation. Nothing too fancy. Would this suffice? And then what if we color it black? Yeah, sometimes the easiest solution, the simplest solution just looks the best. I mean, there's probably a gazillion things that look better, but you know what I mean, okay? You can do it from the inside as well. I wonder if this is easier or more difficult to do on a controller. On a keyboard and mouse, it's still pretty difficult because I have to constantly move my hand between my keyboard and the mouse just to nudge it. Maybe something to do with this one as well. Definitely. Okay, 1 second. Let me see if I can just hold control and just move forward. Oh my god. Okay. Now, how do we make it look not bad? Maybe with just literally a normal indentation. Oh, but that's gonna take so long. I don't want to do that. I need a macro for this. Please. But I'm too lazy to whip up the auto hotkey. You know what I need? I need one of those old macro keyboards where you can just record it and play it again in a single click. Okay, do we make it a different color? Maybe just black? So if I fly all the way across over here, I think that should do it. Yeah. Except just this one. That is so much better than it used to look. Like ridiculous levels of better. Now, I want to sort of use this over here somewhere as well. You know what? I'm going to see you guys in like 10 million hours when I finish this up. Because apparently placing lights down is literally the most boring thing in this game. And heavens forbid you have to actually remove these. So I need to make sure that it looks good before I finalize this. Okay, yeah, it's fine. Kind of looks nice. I like it. Okay, just some finishing touches over here. I forgot to place some inverted ramps on the opposite sides of these beams. And I think that is pretty much it at this point. At least for now. Let's place this over there as well. I also cleaned up this backside. I might do something about this. I might leave it as is. Basically, it's going to be a cave entrance that takes us into the Red Forest, where we are probably going to build an aluminium factory in the near future. Not anytime soon, of course. This is looking a lot better than it used to. We might make some more changes and adjustments after we work on the factory that is inside of it. That is going to be the next video, and keep an eye out and definitely subscribe so you don't miss it. I do want to make more videos like this in the future. Let me know if there is any interest though, and maybe if I should cut them down further. This entire thing took around 3 hours and I have cut it down to just under 30 minutes, I believe. So let me know if that's sufficient or if you actually want me to cut it down more. I tried to keep my entire design process and my thought process intact so that you can figure out how I think. I believe that's important when you're giving someone a walkthrough of something. This has been incredibly fun. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!